Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast. Let's start the programme. Good morning, everyone.
I don't think you'll have a programme to start.
I've been on antibiotics this last 3 days.
It's not working, obviously.
No, it's okay. I can feel.
Did you sleep last night?
I can feel a little relief.
Yeah. Did you sleep?
I slept last night, yes. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. It's you don't like honesty.
It's Emma. Emma said it.
Emma's an old. What does she know? Listen, today, 14th of July. Is today the 14th of July?
Yes.
Is today?
Yes.
Is having a very special birthday. It's Laura's birthday today. She hasn't been keeping well over recent months, but always tries to keep cheerful. It would be lovely if you could play Charlie Lansborough singing "Love You Every Second." Do you have that? Do you have that by any chance? You have all Charlie Lansborough
I know,
stuff.
but find it.
Have you? But have you anything by Charlie, even if we haven't got that?
You've got Charlie's new CD.
Indeed. But I guess the chances of you having it handy are slim. She knows how the programme works. Sean tells me that you have Charlie's latest album, Love in a Song. So maybe you could play track 1, To Make You Feel My Love, or track 13, Please Help Me, I'm Falling. Have we got that?
You have it.
I know what I'm saying is, I don't care. But do you have it? I mean, do you know where it is? Do you know where it is?
Do you have the CD?
But when you say I have something, it means that somebody gave it to me. But it means nothing to me. I just threw it somewhere. Well, all I'm saying is, I'd never play that. But I mean, the point is, do you have it? Can you put your hand on it now?
On your CD?
No, on that CD. You mean to say I'm the only one who's got a copy of it?
No, I've got a copy and you've got a copy.
Well, let me rephrase this. Can I borrow your copy because I don't know where my copy is?
Yes.
Thank you. That was very, very easy, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Please wish Laura a very happy birthday.
Well, why didn't you get the CD before you read the letter? And
because I just read this now.
Well, why didn't you keep it and then I'll get you...
Because I'm not organised.
I'll get you the CD at 11 and read the letter after 11.
I will. But see, the point is, there's nobody here to help me. See, everybody's against me. I mean, what you should have done, if you'd have got this, or Emma, you'd have prepared this and said, look, Jerry, there's an email. Look, take that. Look, and there's the CD attached.
The emails come directly to you. Emma and I don't see them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
So you forgot about that, didn't you?
I did forget.
So therefore, we
But did somebody not contact you earlier on about this?
Yesterday.
Well, there you are. You see, you knew about this yesterday.
I did.
And why didn't you get the message, put it down and got the CD, put it together and said to Emma, give that to Jerry because that'll be a little thing for him to do tomorrow. You never bawled your arse, did you?
Because after I talked to Laura, I said to you, bring Charlie Lansborough with you to the studio tomorrow and bring his new CD. There's a request for Charlie. And you says, all right. So this is now the day. Tomorrow. Now, the day.
This is now, yeah.
Yes. This is the day you really bring Charlie with you.
Well, you have Charlie, so will you bring Charlie down here about 11 o'clock and I'll play him for Laura, who's a dear friend of mine? Last night on the BBC, Stephen Watson jumped once again on the Rory McIlroy bandwagon. Can Rory win the British Open? Asked Stephen. After half an hour of ifs, buts and babies, Stephen said Rory could win the British Open, but he'd have to be at the top of his game. Meanwhile, over at UTV, lesser spotted Joe Mahan was talking to some female rowers. The girls made Joe the designated driver and put him in the back of the rowing boat and gave him 2 pieces of rope to steer with. The girls, big, strong Amazon girls they were, bent over the oars and shot out to sea with the bold, white-haired Joe screaming like a girl. Late-night TV, that is, after the watershed, which is why Stephen was allowed to say what he was allowed to say and Joe was allowed to say, oars! The crack was off the scale. That's Judy, Sarah Travers' hairdresser.
There's a call on one.
Ben Eldon, the man who recorded the dancing...
Joe had a wet bum last night.
Did he? All right. Is he on here?
Who?
Joe.
No, Joe Mahan.
I know. He had a wet bum because he was in the boat with the girl.
In the boat, he complained about his bum being wet.
Got a wet bum. Go on, tell.
No, I don't know. No.
I've got a wet bum.
No.
Let me just say. I can't do him. Go on, tell him.
No, there's a different Joe. I told you. There's a studio Joe, and there's a Joe out on location Joe.
There's a Joe doing the narrative, the narrating, and then there's Joe out. Well, give us Joe out in the boat then.
I can't do Joe out in the boat.
On.
No.
Go on.
No.
People said the other day...
I can't
You
do
can,
Joe.
you just won't.
I do
People
Joe.
the other day were complaining about you don't do impressions anymore.
We do studio Joe.
We'll do studio Joe saying everybody's bum been wet. Go on.
I can't think how he would say it.
My bum is wet. Go on.
And now my bum is wet. That's what he says. And now, as I row out into the mid-Atlantic,
I discover
my arse is soaking. That's the word he used. I'm not
soaking.
using it. That's what he is.
My arse is soaking in this boat here with these Amazon women.
There's a call on one.
Good. You have to learn to do Joe when he's outside.
All right, then. I'll follow him.
He's more high-pitched.
Yes, I know he is.
He turns into Eamon McCann when he's in the studio.
Yes.
That's what it is.
I must say congratulations to Stephen Watson on his programme last night on The Open.
Is there a more annoying man in the world than Stephen Watson? Is there?
How? In what way? I thought last night, what a very good programme.
It just kind of, I just always want him to go away.
Why?
He just keeps nattering, shouting at you.
He does not.
I don't know what it is.
He did a couple of links. That's all he did last night, but it was a very, very good programme.
All right then. The number to ring if you want to contact, and the golf is on at the moment. I'm surprised you're here at all. I'm surprised you're not plastered against the TV. No, but the thing, now you said something this morning. You said that Padraig Harrington was going to win the Open.
I think if I were a betting man, I would, for an each way bet, for an interest, I would put a few quid on Padraig Harrington, which I will do.
Do you know, I think it's a very interesting thing, you see, because now Padraig Harrington would be kind of, your standard golfer. Okay? And I remember reading a little interview and various things, and for some reason I just in the back of my mind, it kind of sensed a little resentment at Rory Gallagher's success. Not resentment, but a little envy, I suppose. A little envy. And you know, one of the things that I like about Rory Gallagher, Rory McIlroy, is that, do you know the way people don't like golfers? Most sensible people don't like golfers because it's for the same reason people don't like Stephen Fry. Now, Stephen Fry's got that kind of smugness about him. He's going, and that kind of puts people off. Many golfers have that as well. There's certain smugness about them that makes people dislike them. I mean, I don't like golfers for entirely different reasons. But Rory McIlroy isn't like that. So he's the best PR for golf ever because he's an ordinary guy and he's not like those other guys. And those other guys, I think maybe perhaps, would be a little envious that they can't be as human as he is. I must talk now about this programme. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, but there's a gentleman on the line.
We had a bit of a problem there during the course of the news. It was discovered that the lines of communication had broken down. Do you know what happened?
No.
Do you know what I know? What happened?
What?
I fixed it myself. What happened was we discovered that there was no communication between this place where I am and in behind the glass where Sean is.
Yes.
So he couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear anything to do with the programme. Now, this in any other programme would be a major obstacle and would have to be fixed immediately. So I said, you better get our engineer, Ken. Ken is gone for his tea.
He's gone for his lunch.
He's gone home.
No, he's gone for his lunch, his break. Ken's in here from 6 o'clock in the morning.
But you see, the point, don't you seem to realise that all the programmes in this station here are on Radio Foyle, and this is the only programme that's on nationwide on Radio Ulster. That's when Ken has his lunch.
Well, listen, there's a man...
When it's the biggest listenership, that's when he has his lunch.
There's a man...
Don't tell me to listen, Sean.
Listen,
don't tell me to listen, I said.
There's a man waiting to talk to you, a man who's very angry with you.
Oh, good.
All right.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. It's Stephen here from the sports department.
Oh, Stephen, nice to talk to you. I was just saying this morning how wonderful it is to see you on many wavelengths on various TVs and television and radio.
Even though I'm over here at the Open Golf, I've been receiving a lot of messages this morning saying you've been giving me a hard time. Is that correct?
These people are lying to you. I've been full of nothing but praise. Sean will reiterate that. Sean, I was just saying this morning how wonderful Stephen Watson is and how he brings a little ray of sunshine into the sports programming. I mentioned
come on, Jerry. You're going to have to embrace golf. I know you don't like golf, but here we have got two of the best golfers in the world, brilliant ambassadors for Northern Ireland. Rory McIlroy and Graham McDowell flying the flag here this week, along with Darren Clarke as well. Major champions. Surely you're going to have to give them a bit of support.
You see, this is what I'm up against all the time. Mr. Coyle, please put Stephen right. Have I said nothing but praise for Rory McIlroy? Nothing but praise for Graham McDowell? Nothing but praise this morning.
Lies.
And I said that Rory McIlroy is a breath of fresh air. Do you know what happened? Do you know how that communication breakdown occurred? Do you know? Do you know how that occurred?
Sean's not here.
Oh, is he not? Where is he? Sorry.
He's coming.
It's all right. I was talking to you and you weren't there.
Hey?
I can't see you. You see.
I know.
No, I was going to say, where were you? Was something wrong?
A guest arrived and I was at reception talking to them. So
That's okay.
That's
all right.
okay. Yeah.
That's okay. No, it's just I was explaining. Do you remember earlier on we had a communication problem?
Yes.
And when I couldn't hear you and you couldn't hear me. This is a lesson to be learnt in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when you came in and you threw the Charlie Lansborough CD at me?
Yes.
You knocked off the microphone by doing that.
I don't think I knocked off the microphone.
This CD that you threw violently at me hit one of those little buttons there, thereby cutting off the flow of sound from here to in there.
All right.
So in other words, your fit of piquant anger and nastiness caused a major sonic fault. So just remember that. Try and you're breathing very heavily.
Sorry, am I?
Is it Emma? Emma, what's going on there?
I'm juggling a lot of balls in the air this morning.
That's why you're breathing heavily. This is a lady called Michelle, and she can't afford... Now, this is a very important thing because a lot of people can't afford to go on holidays this year. And, you know, it's because of the credit crunch, because of the way things are. So, but Michelle has decided to stay at home but pretend that she's in a hotel. And this is her third episode. Bearing in mind you can't smoke in a hotel, I will refrain from smoking in my own house. Which, I remind you, I'm pretending is a hotel. There will be a lovely garden with decking, which we can see through the windows, but the doors to the patio doors will be locked. I'll ask the waiter if I can go out there for a smoke. He will say, no, because there's residents sleeping right above that area, and they'll complain if the smokers are too noisy. I will then walk through my house and stand out the front. It will be teeming and pishing, to quote Geordie. There will be no shelter. My hair will be ruined. My husband, who doesn't smoke, will come outside with me because he's got nobody to talk to when I'm gone. I remind you, we've had nothing to talk about in the lounge. He will stand shivering and tell me to hurry up. He won't come with me the next time. Oh, and I nearly forgot. There'll be a couple of guests in the lounge. I'll get our neighbours to help out there. We will not speak to them until we meet them in the smoking area. The conversation will begin with complaining about how we have to stand outside. My husband will join us outside again. As the night progresses, we will solve all the world's problems. The crack will be mighty. My husband and I will finally get to bed at 6 a.m. We will struggle out of bed 3 hours later, very hungover and irritable, to go and get breakfast. Not because we wanted, because we paid for it. Did you ever do that? Did you ever eat breakfast because you paid for it?
No, but I will not miss my breakfast.
You see, you're the same. See, I remember trying to explain this to people. When you go to a hotel, you don't stay in hotels all that often. See, when you stay in hotels for a very long time, you realise that you don't have to eat your breakfast if you don't want it.
I do.
I know, but you don't want it because you paid for it. You're eating it because you paid for it.
No, I eat a good breakfast every morning.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you were drinking all night,
porridge every morning.
If you were drinking all night, right? If you were drinking, which I've seen you do, if you were drinking all night to 6 and 7 in the morning, fell into bed, and breakfast finished at 9:30, would you get up at 9 o'clock 2 hours later and have your breakfast?
If I could, yes.
But because you paid for it?
No, because I know I would miss my breakfast all day. Even no matter if I got my dinner.
But why wouldn't you lie on until 12 and then go outside and then get breakfast somewhere outside?
There's two things. One, I cannot lie on. Right? Bear that in mind. I have the body clock whenever I've got to get up at around 8:30 or 9 o'clock. I can't sleep on. I can't sleep in bed after that. So what's the point in me not getting my breakfast? I just get up and get your breakfast, and I enjoy my breakfast. I think it's important. It's the most important meal of the day. And so I like my breakfast.
All right, then. But all I'm saying is there are people out there who will have their breakfast not because they want it, it's because they paid for it. And I've seen people actually making themselves sick by going down in the morning and eating as much as possible because they feel as if they paid for it. And then they go back up and they go, I'm sick.
No, I would go and eat my breakfast.
I've seen you in breakfast. Eat everything. Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.